So I remember walking through Winnipeg last year during the last whiteout party. This is something that Winnipeggers do during Jets games to support the team. Everybody dresses as white, and it was in response to, I think, the Calgary Flames doing something where everybody dresses as red. I'm not a big hockey fan, as you can tell, but nonetheless, I remember walking through the city and seeing everybody dressed in white. I'm thinking, how is this not a problem with SJWs yet? How have they not said that this is problematic? Well, sure enough, somebody finally came out and did it. This girl who created the Black Lives Matter chapter or something in Winnipeg. It makes absolutely no sense that we have a chapter of Black Lives Matter in Winnipeg to begin with, right? It's not like there's a lot of discrimination going on towards black people here, but this is just how that organization works. They try to spring up chapters in all these different cities, regardless of it having racism or not, and they try to sow division. They try to convince the black people in that area that the police are after them, that they're discriminated against, and they're struggling in this all white country, or so many white people in Winnipeg, right? But this is all that group really does. It just sows division. They don't really care about fighting for the rights of black people. It's just, hey, let's find things that are problematic in society that white people like and say that it's racist. Just like this whiteout thing that is going on that we've been doing since 1987. And I'm like, yeah, it was just a matter of time before somebody came out and made a story about this. Now CBC is reporting on it. And I think the main objective of this whole thing was to make this girl out to be like a victim, right? Because at the end of it, they're like, oh, the majority of people didn't support her, but she got a lot of harassment from it, and they didn't expect all the harassment that she was going to get. And the post itself only had about 500 likes and 300 or so, or 250 retweets, but they're going to write a story about it nonetheless, which just lets CBC, fake news media, and their intentions, right? It's just to sow more division within the public, right? That they're even going to report on something like this, right? It wasn't a viral tweet or anything like that, but nonetheless, we're going to hear about it, and we're going to hear how it's problematic, and how maybe we should have a conversation about how this whiteout makes minorities feel in our country, how it makes them feel scared or something. Or like, because I think one of the slogans is like, make downtown white again or something like that, which is hilarious. But we shouldn't have to change it because of the feelings of people that are coming into our country voluntarily. First of all, we didn't have a slave trade here in Canada. We didn't bring people on boats and make you our slaves. All the black people here either came escaping America in the Underground Railroad to Canada to safety, or you came voluntarily with a plane or something like that, right? And you knew what country. So anybody who does come to a country voluntarily, it's just kind of like shut the hell up, really. I don't care about your ravings and rantings about how racist my country is. If you really have a problem with it, you can go back to your own country. But I'll read the article from CBC because I think, I'll read her post as well because it's in the article. So it starts off, Winnipeg whiteout street parties are attracting thousands of Jets fans downtown to celebrate their team. But for some people, the image of throngs dressed head to toe in all white can be threatening. Among them is Alexa Potashnik, the founder of Black Space Winnipeg, a non-profit organization that lobbies for safe spaces for Winnipeg black community. So, first of all, how is it a non-profit? So that means what? They're getting tax subsidies essentially, or like the tax breaks. So it's like, no, what are they doing? Sowing division in Winnipeg? It's like, this is ridiculous. But of course they're going to get it. And, probably other groups if they were supporting white people and trying to help white people. No, that would be racist. But among them, she posted a message on the group's Facebook page on Wednesday morning ahead of the Jets' first game on the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs, suggesting the name of the playoff party be changed. Along with it, she posted an image and the caption, "Have a look at these photos from past Jets Pandemonium fan appreciation. The 4 men wearing all white Jets outfits with pointed hoodies. Remind you of anything?" So, like, really? Oh, they're all white. Their hoodies are kind of pointed. So clearly they're the Ku Klux Klan. They're Nazis, and this is the real intention behind it. It's just to scare black people not to come to hockey games or something like that. Like, what is this person serious? Like, I think she is. I think this person is literally this stupid that they're gonna associate this with the Ku Klux Klan. Like, but this is what they see. What they really don't like is white people and anything to do with white people, and they're triggered by anything white. And they're like, oh, this sea of white. It's because they got oppression on their mind 24/7. They think they're living in America during the Jim Crow era or something. And you're like, snap back to reality, man. You're delusional. She posted a message, along with it. The whiteout started back in 1987 as Jets fans' response to Calgary Flames' sea of red during the playoffs. That was at a time when the Jets' home colors were white, not blue as they are now, but tradition has stuck. So her post is, if you're not awake or not aware today, the Winnipeg Jets kicks off its Downtown Street Party series, making downtown white again. We had to share this. For people who come downtown to take part in the Jets festivals, just remember a massive street party called a Whiteout does not make all Winnipeggers feel safe. So, she needs a safe space. Now, if you're reading this and thinking, calm down, it's harmful fun. It has nothing to do with race. It's a part of the Jets culture, because clearly she's gotten all these responses. It's a tradition. It's how we show our team this and city pride. Whiteout represents a blizzard and play on our extreme Winnipeg weather. It's for everyone. Have a look at these photos and past Jets Pandemonium, and they show the hoodie thing with the pointed hats. Not only so it's just funny, right? It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to dismiss everything you people just said with a picture of 4 men with pointed hoodies that are wearing all white during a whiteout thing. And you're like, oh my God, man. Yeah, it's guilt by association. And you don't even know if these were fucking racist or whatnot. Not only is the province spending a significant amount of money for these street whiteout parties, and it's funny. It's like, dude, you're most likely a socialist. Don't talk about government spending. I laugh every time I hear left-winger or liberal talk about government spending. I'm like, you think debt is infinite and can go on forever? So what the fuck are you talking about? This will be going on for the next few weeks. Mayhem ensues when these parties take place. It's triggering to see a sea of white when you're walking home from work or school, witnessing aggressive Jets culture as Jets fans flood the streets yelling, "True North!" We thought if you can't change the party, at least revise the name, because a headline that reads, Jets parties will turn downtown white again reminds us of a similar phrase started by a very problematic politician in the States. Just saying, Winnipeg Free Press, blah, blah, blah. So, you got the Free Press in there, etc. Make downtown MAGA in her hashtags, Manitoba, blah, blah, blah. So, she didn't even want to name Trump. He's the person who shall not be named, I guess, to the left, like he's that bad to them. And then she's like, I get the color context 100%, but it's the culture that we're talking about. It's the wording we're critiquing, Patashnik told CBC. CBC's Up to Speed host, whatever her name is, on Thursday, citing a headline that called for turning Winnipeg's downtown white again. It's triggering for some people from marginalized communities, whether that's black communities, indigenous, people of color, folks with disabilities, queer communities. It impacts us all. So, like, queer? How does the all white again impact the queer and disability people? Really? Like, I don't understand that. Like, just, white supremacy is bad for the queers and the disabled. Like, you're just throwing shit in there, aren't you? She says the group is not advising anyone to boycott the parties, which take place on blocked off streets around Bell MTS Place during home playoff games. We're just saying, how can we make these parties so that everyone feels safe? That's the biggest thing. We can do absolutely nothing because you came to Canada voluntarily, and you can go back to your fucking country if you don't like our parties. That's literally all I have to say. We don't need to have a conversation about it. You're a triggered child, and we don't need to listen to you. Patashnik lives downtown and has been to the parties, which she says can be fun, but she has also heard of racial slurs and racist humor while walking through the crowds. It's quite real, she said. So, it's that's a lie, probably. I've walked through Winnipeg. I've lived here my whole life, and I've almost never heard people just randomly saying racist shit in big groups of people in downtown Winnipeg or anything like that during these whiteout things. Like, there are a bunch of bums, like Aboriginal bums downtown on Main or in right on Portage, right where that happened. So maybe somebody like told a bum that was native to fuck off, and who's asking them for money, and she took this as racist. I don't know. Most likely at the most. People have a very narrow definition of what safe is, Patashnik said. So yeah, they're broadening the definition. Words are violence, guys. Adding that her Facebook post hit a nerve. It had more than 500 comments and nearly 230 shares as of Thursday evening. So that's it. This is a story on 230 shares. That's it? And you're going to write a story about this? Patashnik expected some backlash, but not to the extent she has received, with a lot of angry vitriol and many commenters suggesting she's hypocritical since her organization has the word black in it. Others called the post ridiculous, stupid, and a publicity stunt, a pathetic attempt at outrage, and a joke. At least one commenter said the post was creating the very thing Patashnik said she is trying to prevent, a rift in society. Please, don't overreach. The struggle is real. This is not the same. Black space. I am wrote. Someone who identified themselves as Black Jamaican Canadian proud Winnipegger. So they're like, yeah, this is not something you want to push. Most people disagreed with her. Tucked among the horde of angry responses are some supporters, few but some. Thank you for speaking up. Can never hurt to try to be a bit more sensitive, at least about wording and how we carry and present ourselves. Good luck in your campaign, wrote one person. Another pointed out that hatefulness displayed in most of the comments justified Patashnik's argument. The folks who are anti what we're doing and defensive about people, I think, who are scared of change, Patashnik said. We just want to have a conversation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. She's pleased the issue has become such a firestorm because hopefully this will get people to think in a new way. And it's like, how is this a firestorm? Like I said, 230 shares, and it's only because you're a part of the Black Lives Matter group. Lots of people have way more likes and shares and comments and all that stuff, firestorming tweets, etc. And nobody's writing stories about it. So you have your privilege, your black privilege in Canada, for your minority privilege of having the media fawn over you and act like you're a fucking victim. And now you're going to try to destroy the whiteout thing that's going on in Winnipeg for decades because you have a problem with it because you don't feel safe. Well, if you don't feel safe, stay in your home. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See you guys.